tear and drive away the
Hello, today's Advent devotional continues our series on the O antiphons that we started yesterday. We're going to look at verse 3 of the O antiphon of O Come, Emmanuel today, which is our second antiphon. I know it's confusing. This verse 3, is probably the one that we skip over when we're trying and when we sing it in congregational singing because it's a little confusing. Also, when you have 7 verses, most people don't want to sing that 7 verses. So you find places to nip and tuck. So this verse is probably not as familiar to us as most of the other verses. And it goes like this. O come, the Lord of might, who to thy tribes on Sinai's height in ancient times didst give the law in cloud, in majesty and awe. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Now, if anything, the pandemic and the election season has been incredibly disorienting, incredibly confusing. And so we search around for things that give us meaning, that give us a new way of understanding our environment and our world, some sort of structure that provides a rootedness that we don't have, that we used to have in our routine. And this third verse does that. It sort of reorients us and reminds us that Advent and Christmas are the products of a long line of people of God. You see, it starts with the verse mentioning God's act on Sinai in Moses. And this verse suggests that it's important that we remember that relationship, that God offered an unfettered relationship with God's people. Sure, there were some rules, some covenants, things that they agreed to live together, but that God was going to do justice and had chosen Israel as a community. And it's important for us to remember as Christians that Jesus saw himself as a continuation of this tradition, that we need a God who is different than us. We need a God who fulfills the law as Jesus did, who can give us direction and shape us and guide us into the people that we're meant to be. In this time of confusion and despair and loss, it reminds us that we can live faithfully because we are the result of centuries and millennia of faith of God's chosen people. The passage from Isaiah for today is chapter 11. It starts with the 10th verse. On that day, the people of Jesse will stand as a signal to the people. The nations will seek him out, and his dwelling will be glorious. On that day, the Lord will extend his hand a second time to reclaim the survivors of God's people who are left from Assyria and from Egypt, from Pathros and Cush, Elam, Shinar, Hamath, and from the coastlands of the sea. God will raise a signal for the nations and gather the outcast men of Israel. God will collect the dispersed women of Judah from the 4 corners of the earth. God will wave a hand over the Euphrates with a powerful wind and break it into 7 streams. Then there will be a highway from Assyria for the survivors of God who are left from Assyria, just as there was for Israel on the day they went out from the land of Egypt. May God bless you.